Howdy folks, Zapper here, aka Sean, and I'm bringing you Next War, World War III. So we have this is game turn 3 for Taiwan, game turn 1 for Korea. I know it's going to be confusing. I probably should just lump it all underneath game turn 3 because the war has been going on for 3 turns. It just hasn't been going on everywhere for 3 turns. Or it might be, so a turn is 3.5 days, so a week and a half. Well, actually, we're getting ready to start the half. I have just wrapped up, well, the last time I left you, we had just conducted the first Special Operation Forces phase. Now we are in the Air Naval phase. I've just wrapped up the air portion of the Air Naval phase, and that is where we determine air superiority. So after figuring out, so we have to go, you have to remove air units based on air bases that have strike markers on them and damaged and destroyed markers and all that stuff. So this is kind of what we're looking at the conclusion of the Korea side. So we have, I think, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's three in each stack, so that is 16-4. So that's 4-1 odds. So the North Koreans have air superiority, which bumps up their AWACS advantage to 1. I'm trying to keep as much stuff, and also I'm using the Taiwan track just because the air superiority and AWACS and all that is on the opposite side of the map. I'm operating on this side of the table, so it's just easier to keep it. The counters are different colors, so it's easy enough to keep them separated. And that way I keep as much information located in one spot as I can. So anyway, the North Koreans have air superiority, which gives them an AWACS advantage of 1. But as you can see here, it's not like they have a lot of great planes. So that definitely will be something that is going to affect them. The North Koreans lost 3 planes in the ensuing air battle. You get a half of a victory point per plane. So right now, I've only given them 1 point. I'm not going to track the half until I destroy another plane. So it looks like the North Koreans they got lucky with that one right there. They sent him back to the aborted box, but you can see there's quite a few guys in the flown box. There's not much left in the ready box. So that's kind of where we're sitting at with the Korean theater. With Taiwan, it looks like, 7-5, so that's 1-1. And we kind of knew this was going to happen. The longer the war goes on, the more the Allies will gain the advantage, right? Because more good aircraft start entering the theater. So kind of knew that was going to happen. Let's see here. So it's contested air superiority now, which is not good. It didn't change the AWACS advantage at all. So the Chinese still maintain AWACS advantage, but it's now contested. Let's see, what do we have? We've got this available here. The Chinese did get lucky and sent that F-22 to the aborted box. It's better than it being damaged, but that's a good plane. And it sucks that it's in the aborted box, but it is what it is. But this is what we've got available for the Chinese, or excuse me, for Taiwan in general. Now let's go over and do the naval phase. I'm trying to make sense of it. It's always kind of confusing. So what I'm doing is so now we do the rolling fork control for inshore boxes and all that stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm going by the GSR first. So let's see. Actually, I should probably start here first. So if the associated at C box is controlled, make a C control roll for any inshore boxes which are contested or controlled by the side which does not. So what is, let me read that again. So we're doing inshore boxes only. So is there anything, so that one's good because China controls both. This is contested. Do we do contested? Only if it's controlled. All right, so we got to look for control. So there's no inshore box here. I think we would roll for that one. This one's not going to change. That one's not going to change. So the only one I think that is affected would be this one. So what we'll do is we'll roll for the Spratlys. And where is the... All right, hold on a second. I got to get my other chart here. All right, I got my handy dandy C control chart out. I'm surprised that that's not print. Could almost be printed on here. I mean, we've got a bunch of other stuff printed on here. There's not really a lot of room, but you get what I'm saying. So after looking at all these, it's just going to be, because there's no naval ships in the Spratly, so it's going to be a -1. So here we go. This is what we're looking at right here. So that is a 7. Looks like the Allies get control of the at sea box. And where are my control markers? Here we go. So that was for the Spratlys inshore. Boom. Now we're going to roll for at sea boxes. And these are the ones right here that I'm going to, anything with an arrow in it. So we got to do this one, this one, this one, that one. And you always roll for the Spratlys. So we'll just stick with the Spratlys. Now, let's see. Okay, so it's still a minus. It's going to be a -1 still. All right, so yep, looks like a -1. Learn how to roll. So that is a 6. So the Allies get control of the Spratlys. All right, now, so that's done. Now, I don't know if that's a box or not. I'm going to treat it as one. Let's look. Let's see if there's anything on here. Philippines C. Where's the Philippine? Okay, so that's so maybe that one is not. Maybe that one's always going to be the Philippines. So we'll go ahead and take that one out. We got the Philippine Seas. We got the Straits of Taiwan, the Ryukyus, and the northern approaches. So let's do the Philippine Sea. There are no ships in the Philippine Sea, and it looks like we've got some game-specific stuff. So the game, so it's a +3. A +2 because the sub-threat level changes it. I don't see anything else. So it is a +2. So that goes to the Allies. Makes sense. Let's go. We'll save that one's going to be the tough one. Let's go to the northern approaches. This will probably go. Northern approaches is +2, -1 for the threat level, so it's a +1. Wow, looks like we're rolling really well for the Allies. Okay, it's kind of what the Allies need. This is where they really need it because it's gonna start affecting them. The Ryukyus. Nothing. It looks like that is a -1, I think. I'm going to go with that. That's the Ryukyus, right? -1. I don't see anything special in there. I don't see a mention of the Ryukyus. I can spend a cruise missile point. China's starting to get low. So they have 14 cruise missile points, and I kind of want to use them for targeting stuff there in Taiwan, I think more. So it's a -1 for the Ryukyus. Ooh, the island. Inshore box only. Do we do... I don't think we do the inshore. No. So, -1. So that is contested still. So the Ryukyus are contested. And last but not least, we've got Taiwan. So what do we have? Wait, you know what? I don't think... Let's see if there are any Allied controlled at-sea boxes roll for them. I think that's it. Yeah, I think we don't have to do Taiwan. So I'm going to call it good. So there's our naval resolution step. It looks like the Allies are kind of getting this area of the Pacific. This is, you know, Alaska's over here. This is closer. You know, this is out in the middle of nowhere type stuff. So, oh, you know, we didn't do... I don't know if we do Sea of Japan. That was contested. I don't... You know what? I'm going to not even mess with that. I'm not going to mess with the Gulf of Tonkin. Because they're contested. There's nothing going on. So I'm going to call that good. And then we'll go ahead and continue on to the next step. I've just conducted the naval detection steps. So we've got, of all this, and that's naval units not in port. So the North Korean naval units are in port. We have got, is that guy in the right spot? 4720. No, see, that didn't make sense to me. So, yeah, stuff gets, because I set my rule book down over here and it always shuffles this stuff around. So you know what? He would have been in port because I definitely want to get those Marines. So let's do that. He is not point detected. So nobody's detected in Korea. All right, let's go. Nobody got detected here. I used these submarines to give me some DRMs to hopefully target those. Nothing happened. That carrier did not get detected, but we have quite a few over here in Taiwan. So you're in port. He did not get, you can't detect him. So there we go. We've got point, area, point. We're definitely going to, and there was no detection on some of these. So we're definitely going to try to hit some of these guys probably with strikes, I think. That's what I see happening. All right, let's see what else. Oh, mine clearance. Both sides roll for mine clearance. There's only, I don't know. I don't remember if there's any mines left. Oh, there's one there. So we will go ahead and do that. Now I got to find the thing. I think it's less than a 3. I think that's what that is. There's no chart for it. So if we get close to a 3, if we get like a 4, then I'm going to have to probably look and see if there's any DRMs. So there's a 3, so that mine is gone. And there we go. So that was it. All the mines are gone. The Chinese are free to land wherever they want now. Second Special Operations Forces phase. So, if it's a contested turn, both players alternating. So it's contested here in Taiwan. So Taiwan will do Special Operations Forces. Or else the non-initiative player allocates. So it'll be both sides here. And in Korea, it will only be the Allies because the Allies did not get to do. So we will go here. We are in the second Special Operations Forces phases, whatever you want to call it. So let me get back with you and figure out where special operations are going. All right, everybody. I have just allocated all of my Special Forces missions, and remember, and I had to go back and redo it because in Korea on the first turn, you can only do detection, recon, and targeting missions for both sides. So I had to go back and refigure it out. I had to just double check, and I was like, I think something doesn't seem right, and I was right. So I had to go back and reallocate stuff. But I think it's all done. So we're going to try to detect the THAAD missile battery there. We need to knock that out of the sky because that was shooting down quite a few of our Scud missiles. We're going to try to detect this Patriot missile battery. Supply depot, headquarters, supply depot, which is actually right here. There we go. And I think that's, yeah, it looks like it's about it. And you notice that there's Chinese special forces in here, so they're showing their level of commitment. And then on the Ally side, there's a supply depot we're gonna try to detect. Supply depot, headquarters. Yep, just a headquarters there. We're gonna try to knock down that detection track a little bit. Not so much going on the Taiwan side. Let me see here. Okay, so we got a mission there for the detection track in Taiwan. We're going to try to detect MSU. Going to try to detect another MSU. Looks like we're going to try to target that headquarters right there. And we're going to try to detect that headquarters, I think. All right. Those arrows really help out. I can notice that things stand out a lot more on this map. I can remember because, I mean, it gets kind of big and cluttered, right? Where did I put my special forces markers? I didn't do that here, but what ended up happening is I ended up having a pause in the game because I'm actually live playing a buddy of mine on Vassal. So we're doing a standard game of Next War Taiwan. So we did that for a little bit. Looks like a couple hours, and now I'm back to playing this one. So let's go ahead and roll and see what our results are. All right, so we'll do the THAAD. So that is a recon, and it looks like, let's see here, is that going to be considered a SAM? So here we go. We've got, and that is rough. So rough, headquarters SAM. I think SAM means the SAM missile batteries, or maybe, no. Yeah, I think that's what that is. So we are going to roll on that line. I don't have an arrow. So what we'll do is the gray will be the attempt, and then the black will be the survivability. Let's see, this is game turn 1, so it'll be -3. I don't think special forces, they can be eliminated. So even on a roll of a 9 with a -3, because it is strategic surprise, yeah, so there's no chance for them to be eliminated doing that kind of mission. Doing a raid or an interdiction, they might be able to, but let's see what their success is. So a 4, that is not good enough. All right, let's see what else we got. We've got, let me see, well, that guy right there. So we need a, what did I say we need? That isn't flat. So need a 4 or lower. And we got a 1. So that guy is detected. There we go. All right, we'll be able to hit that one with some strikes or something maybe. We'll go ahead and do that guy right there. That is flat woods. And what is that? That is a headquarters. So again, we need a 4 or lower. Got it. All right, we got this supply depot. What is that? That is, I think that's Highland. Highland Woods. Supply depot. Need a 3 or better. 3 or lower. And that failed, so because I couldn't detect him, then the targeting mission automatically fails. So those 2 guys are done. All right, we'll do this guy down here. That's Highland, headquarters Sam. Looks like I need a 2 or lower, and that is a failure. Yeah, come here. All right. What are we moving to next? Headquarters, that looks like that also. Yeah, that's Highland. Highland Woods for a headquarters. 2. Nope. What do we got left? I think that's it. It looks like it's it for the commies. I was going to say the bad guys, but it looks like it's it for the commies. So we're going to do the same thing for the same thing. Yeah, so what's that? That's Flatwoods. Flatwoods Supply Depot. You need a 4 or lower. Nope, that was close though. That would have been great to be able to detect that, but unfortunately it's not going to happen. That's Highland Woods Supply Depot. 3. 7, not good enough. Not good. I think that's a headquarters. Yep, just the headquarters right there. That is rough. That's a 7. That's not going to be good enough. Supply Depot, Highland. 2, I think that might be good. Highland Supply Depot. Yes, you are detected. All right, well, we know where our B-2 bombers and stealth bombers and everything else bombers are heading. I think that was this guy. Nope, don't want to put you in that thing. And then we'll do the detection track. So if we get a 4 or lower, 4, that puts it at -1. All right, so that goes down by 1. All right, I don't see anything else on this map. That's what's good about those arrows. So we'll go over to Taiwan. All right, let's see here. So MSU detection. That is a 9, and that is not going to be good enough. We will go to, oh, this, you know what? This is not turn 3, or this is not turn 1 here. So we do have to roll for survival. It is a -1 to the die roll. So a 7 or higher. So basically, we have to roll an 8. And that, you can't see it, but that's a 3. So this guy survives. Wait a minute. That was the one that I just used. So, yeah, I didn't roll for detection here. So let's roll for detection. And that guy failed. Let's see if he survives. Ooh, that was a Japanese Special Forces. They are gone. Let me see right here. We're going to try to target that headquarters right there. That's a straight up roll of 4 or less. So it was successful, and that is an 8 -1 is a 7. He is eliminated, but he is targeted. That kind of stinks. I've lost 2 Special Forces units on the Allies side in Taiwan. Not good, fellas. Not good. All right, let's see what else we got. As far as the Allies go, I think I put all the U.S. ones in Korea. I don't see... Yeah, I don't see anybody else. Let's do that. So we've got this guy here. So let's try. That's a targeting mission. 4 or lower. It's a 6. With a 6, did you survive? Yep, these Chinese dudes survived. They were not successful, though. And then I think the only one that I've got left, I got this one here, and I've got this one here. So that's an urban. What is it? Urban detection for a headquarters? Oh, the odds of that happening are like 0. You need to get a 1 or a 0. 5, and then that, I think. Yeah, that guy did not make it. So, not used. Eliminated. And then the detection track. So that's a 4 or lower. And that is double fail. All right, that is, folks, the second Special Operation Forces phase. So now we go to the first strike phase. That's going to take a while to figure out what I want to do, but cruise missiles, bombers, strike aircraft, what have you. And there's going to be a lot of air defense fire and all kinds of other stuff going on. So I'll be back in a little bit. All right, so before we do the strike phase, you can do the cyber warfare. So I'm going to, in the cyber warfare and the strike phase can be used to target the detection tracks only. So if successful, it reduces the detection track by 2 temporarily for the turn. So what we'll do is, so the Chinese decided they are going to attempt that. So here is their detection, or here's their cyber warfare marker, and this is the Allies' response. So the same is going to be done for the Chinese detection track. So again, here's the Allies and then the Chinese response. All right, so basically how this works is you have the attack value, the defense value, and the survivability. And I believe for survivability, you have to roll under. Yes, so you got to roll, it's a roll under. So what you do is the attack and defense, so that is a net -1, which now I got to find my track. Here we go. So it's a net -1. So even if it's successful, well, I'd have to roll a 0, basically, is what that means. So you need to roll less than that number. So I would need to roll a 0 because the attack value is less than 1. It's actually a -1. So if I roll a 0, then that will be successful. Almost rolled a 0. I almost saw that happen. So now what we will do is we will roll for survivability. So red goes to red, blue goes to blue. So 3 and 5, both of those survive, so they go to the use box. It's just kind of like special forces, but it's like electronic special forces. So that goes there, and that goes, where's the use box? There it is right there, and that goes there. So we will do the same thing for here. So that is a net 0. So basically it's the same thing. I need to roll a 0. And that is a 6, and that's not good enough. So now we go on to survivability. Both of those survived, so nothing happened. Again, cyber warfare, definitely not successful here. And we'll go ahead and go over to the same, do the same thing over here in Korea. So the Koreans decided we've blown up their air defense networks enough. We're not going to waste cyber on this, but America decided that they're going to try to launch a cyber attack. And I drew these randomly rather than, because otherwise I would just pick the highest ones all the time. So I just kind of threw them in a cup and drew out one randomly. So basically I need to roll a 0 to see if it's successful. So that's a 5. Let's see if they survive. So that one did not, but that one did. So the American one does not survive. It goes to the eliminated box. And that one goes to the used box. There we go. So it looks like American hackers are not very good. And look at that. Card slid off into the thing. And what was I doing here? That went there. I don't remember where the heck this thing was. This had to be within 2 hexes, so that was probably there. I'll take that Patriot battery with us as we move. And I don't remember where that was. Wasn't it 3621, I think, or 3620? I don't remember, man. There we go. I'll look at it later. All right, now we can go on with the strike phase. So I'll be back in a little bit. First up in the strike phase will be cruise missiles and ballistic missiles. So here in North Korea, we are just going to fire some Scuds. So we're going to fire 4 at this detected Patriot missile battery because we want to take that thing out. Unfortunately, the THAAD missile battery, which is down there, did not get detected because we'd really like to take that out. That thing covers all of Korea, I believe Taiwan, and I believe Japan at the same time. So I got to remember that I can use that on the Taiwan map too. So it has a detection value of 9, and it has a SAM of 9. So let's see if we can detect. Well, actually, we'll use the Patriot here, because the Patriot will actually work a little bit better. It has a -3 DRM, even though the SAM value is 1 lower than the THAAD. So we're doing the advanced detection. It is a -3 on the DRM. It's overcast, so it's a -2 DRM. So we are on the 9. So basically, if we roll anything, we'd have to roll, it's -2. So we need to roll Well, that's automatic. Even if I roll a 9, that's a 7. So that's automatically detected. So there you have it. I don't even need to roll to see if it's detected. I just need to see if we can shoot it down. So let's see here. For those two, let's look. Well, those are basically 3s minus 2s. Yeah, because of the overcast still does apply versus a cruise missile. Nah, those are not cruise missiles. Those are Scuds, so that doesn't count. So that's minus 2. So those are 1s. So both of these are destroyed. Well, looks like the North Koreans are kind of just not going to be able to do a whole lot. I don't think. Let me see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're just out of range. So we'll have to use the THAAD for that. So they're automatically detected. We'll fire on the 9 row of the SAM chart, which is right here. Let's see here. I think it's a +1 for overcast, and that is it. So we got a 2 and a 3, so we're in the 9 row. So 2 and a 3, those are A's. Those are actually, so X's and A's destroy the missiles. So those are hits. And those Scud missiles have been shot down out of the sky. So now we'll go over to Taiwan and do the same process. I just need to re-verify real quick if the THAAD does reach to Taiwan. All right, if you look right here, so here's the THAAD. This is in Supplement 2. So it says here it protects the Korean Peninsula, Japan, and Taiwan. So I should have been using that thing the whole time, because the U.S. intervention level is sufficient enough, I believe, to have used that, at least in a defensive role. Even if the U.S. was at like an intervention level 0, I would think that that missile screen would still protect our allies. So I should have been using that the whole time, but, you know, whatever. Again, it's one of those things where, you know, you can't catch everything. So we're going to use the THAAD for here too. And then, yeah, I think I'll use the THAAD. I don't know if it, this is the thing, right? Is like, okay, so the THAAD doesn't work. Then would I use the naval defenses as a backup? Well, we'll worry about that when it happens. So we automatically detect it, right? Actually, no, it's not odd, not here. So if we roll it's a 9. If we roll an 8 or higher, where are my dice? Right here. An 8 or higher on either one of these, then it's not detected. So they're both detected. No problems there. Now it's a SAM of 9, and it is +1 because it's overcast. So, ooh, man, it looks like those are going to connect anyway. The 7 turns into an 8, which is a +1. So that means that one of these missiles got a +1. The other one, kaboom. Is it anything to do with point detection? I think point detection matters, right? All right, the point detection only matters for the actual resolving of the strike. So what we will do now is now the naval ADF will come into place. I think you can do the umbrella. Let me look real quick. All right, there's not anything. I think you use either or, but I'm going to say that it's been detected, I would imagine that that information would be fed to that surface action group, and they will at least be able to do their CWIS fire on it. So we will do that. So it's a AAA of 2, and we get a minus. Ooh, look at that. We get a -1 for the CWIS fire, but a +2 because it's overcast. So it's a +1. Can we, with a AAA of 2, well, we might be able to. We might be able to add some more modifiers to it. So the red die will be for the one that's already got a +1 on it. So it's a +1 to each one of these. So that's not, neither one, nothing happens. So this SAG is in fact hit by 2 different cruise missile strikes. Let's see. So this one gets a plus. Doesn't matter for the overcast, so it's point detected, so that's a -1, but then it is a +1 because they're cruise missiles that are attacking it. So that's a 0, so we just have a +1 and then a straight up die roll. So again, the blue will be the missile that didn't receive any kind of incoming fire or anything like that. So that is a, there we go, 6 and a 3. So the 6 is nothing. The 3 is a strike 1. So we will add a strike 1 marker. Now I have the option So I have the option to either retreat to the nearest port or stay there and take the strike 1. I think I will retreat to the nearest port, and then that way at the end of the turn, I'll be able to remove that, hopefully, as long as it doesn't get anything else. Now, let's see if he gets detected, because every time you move a naval ship, you have to see if it gets detected. A 3, I think, is... A 3 is area detected, but with any kind of DRM, it drops 1 lower. It goes to point detected, so it will remain point detected because there's so much Chinese stuff in the area that it has to stay detected. There's no other way that it could be any different. All right, so now we will go ahead and see if we can hit that AMF right there. Let's see what the detection ranges are. For US, what is that? That is an AMF. That's a 7, a 6, and a 2. So it has a detection value of 7. Let's see if I can detect that missile coming in at it. 6. The missile is detected. And let's see if the AAA is a value of 2. It's a +2. -1 for CWIS, so it's a +1 to the DRM. So that's a 7, and they miss. So now we can go ahead and see what happens. So that is a cruise missile. It's point detected, so that's -1. It's a cruise missile for +1 for 0. So that is a 0. And that's a 9. Nothing will happen. Man, we go through a lot of trouble to do nothing. I believe that wraps up all of the cruise missile and missile strikes. All right, everybody. Yeah, this is definitely taking a lot longer than it used to, but I just got done conducting air strikes, helicopter strikes, wild weasel strikes for both sides. Let's see here if I can remember. I've even got my arrows on here. Let's see if I can remember everything that happened. So we conducted a helo strike against this Patriot missile battery, and we were able to get a strike 1 result. So that's a good thing for the North Koreans. Not so good for the Allies. The Allies conducted 2 helo strikes. They were detected. I didn't put detection markers on everybody. Some of these other missions were detected too, but I kind of forgot to do it. And if it mattered, then it mattered. So 2 helo strikes, 1 from there and 1 from there. On this guy, we were able to get a strike 1 result, which I was hoping for a little bit more, but hey, whatever. We conducted a helo strike, the North Koreans, on that unit, and they were unsuccessful. Conducted a helo strike, attempted to conduct a helo strike on that supply depot. I think that'll be crucial if we can knock out supply. That would be huge. But unfortunately, they were not successful there. And then we conducted some wild weasel raids on the detection track, and you can see that we had some serious modifiers, and unfortunately we weren't able to do anything. We did allocate air support in the event that they were early detected, because that's when you can send out the interceptors. But we did not get early detection, so, it was kind of one of those things where it was you send them up there just in case. Unfortunately, we didn't need them, so now those guys are gone. Or they are not available. And then over here in Taiwan, let us see here. So, didn't do anything with the detection tracks at all. All right, so we tried to hit this headquarters with an airstrike and a helo strike. Didn't work. They weren't detected, even though they did send up the escorts just in case. Conducted a helo strike on this headquarters right here. So did get a strike 1 result, which is a good thing. So good job, those Apaches, the Apache helicopters that were here. Stealth bomber, the B-2, hit this amphibious unit. So, man, my stealth bombers are having really good luck with hitting naval units. So they already had a strike 1 on them. They ended up getting a strike 2 when it was all said and done. So that's strike 1 plus strike 2 equals strike 3, which equals you're out. So that amph was destroyed, and it was carrying some mechanized Marines on board. So it looks like the Chinese are going to lose 2 units there. That's going to hurt. So I'll have to remember to update the